Today we're going to be looking at the latest update for Fallout 4, which brings additional graphic settings, performance and visual improvements. I'm running this game on Xbox Series X, so we'll be looking at this game's graphics, performance and gameplay. So let's give it a try. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So this is Fallout 4. The latest update for Fallout 4 brings additional graphics and performance settings. So before I start the game, let me show you these settings. So let's go to settings, display, and what you will find here is this. So frame rate target, you can choose between 30 and 60. That was not present here before. I'm talking about the previous update, which dropped like a week, 2 weeks ago. And obviously we still got prioritized visuals and performance. So let's go with a frame rate target of 30 and better visuals first. And let's exit out of that. It's saving, and now let's continue the game. This update dropped like a couple of hours ago, I think, and you know, there was some controversy surrounding the Xbox version before because some settings were not there apparently, or some options or some settings didn't work properly on Xbox and they did on PlayStation apparently. So obviously, when it comes to graphics, the game looks really sharp. It looks really good. I mean, considering that we are looking at a game that is like 8 years old. So, you know, bear that in mind. It's not like a next-gen game. So, but it still looks decent in my opinion. And visuals, apparently they... I mean, this particular option, so prioritized visuals, should improve graphics a little bit. So I would imagine things like shadows and that kind of stuff. I don't really see any sort of a pop-in, nothing like that. The texture filtering looks really good, I would say. So we will switch to prioritize performance. Okay, shadows. So shadows, you can see that big shadow over there. So it's like appearing out of nowhere. We will switch to prioritize performance and we'll check these things out too. But yeah, generally speaking, you can see these shadow transitions over here too. So that's kind of cool. Like one of the biggest settings usually when it comes to, like, you know, better visuals, you can see shadows transitions over here too. Look at it. So we'll see how that works when it comes to performance. But this is all 30 frames per second. Now the cool thing, and that option was not here before, the cool thing is that now you can actually still play, you can keep the visuals, but switch to 60 frames per second. Unfortunately, you cannot do it from the game. You actually have to quit, so and start the game again. And so let's actually check it out. So settings, let's not touch the performance mode. Let's stick to 30 for now. Let's just change the visual. So let's go to performance. And let's see if that's actually making any difference. So I would imagine the visuals, the resolution, I guess too. Although when I actually tested it, I haven't really noticed much of a difference when it comes to performance, resolution. So this is still 30 frames per second, and yeah, I mean, all these transitions actually kind of look the same-ish. So I don't really see much of a difference, right? Okay, maybe I have to come a little bit closer here for the, you know, more detailed shadow over here, but I have a feeling that, well, I will switch to visual mode in a minute, but like I have a feeling that there's a little bit more of a fog now, or is it just me? Well, I'll actually switch it up in a minute. Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think that's the, because I had a feeling that the it was more crisp and less foggy before. So let's switch back to visuals. Continue. No, that was just me. Okay, well, you know what? I'm sure that Digital Foundry will find something of a difference. But when it comes to this game, and so that's visuals, so that's actually nice and crisp. Okay, so now the last test really. Let's switch to performance mode. And I will switch to 60 frames per second too. Let's see how that works and quit. Because really that's the mode I would recommend. I mean, you can still play visuals and 60 frames per second, so you get both. And I'm sure that visuals will we'll have more frame drops at some, in, you know, some locations. So we'll see. See, that's the thing, right? I don't really see much of a difference when it comes to resolution. I think that resolution is pretty much the same. I think on PlayStation, at least with the previous update, the resolution was a little bit lower in the performance mode, but here looks like it's pretty much the same. So, like, it seems like no matter whether you play in performance or visual mode, the resolution seems to be the same. It's nice and sharp in my opinion, but who am I? I'm not a Digital Foundry. But that's the thing, right? When you play the game and like if you don't, if the difference is not obvious, right? Like straight away, I mean, what's the point of even talking about it? Like, I get it, like these console war comparisons between the two, you know, when, you know, the two consoles, when one has like 2% advantage, like these kind of differences, like makes no sense, makes no difference really, right? So that's the thing, but you know, a lot of times you know, there's games that, for example, you know, offer 1440p or 4K or close to 4K in visual mode, in quality mode, but then run at 1080p in performance mode. So that's actually a big difference, right? I'm not even talking about differences between the console ports. I'm just talking about like the same version running on the same console, right? Like when we compare resolution, because a good example would be, or at least was back in the days, when that game first came out, Evil West. That game launched last year, I think. And, you know, quality mode actually looked pretty decent, you know, good, nice graphics and everything, and it was actually pretty sharp. But then when you switch to performance mode, you know, it was nice and smooth, 60 frames per second, but unfortunately the quality of the image resolution wasn't really that great. I still played in performance mode, you know, that's the way I am, but yeah, there was a big difference. See, this game is actually against me, because now when I want to show you the details, like there's like more and more fog now, so I guess it's a good good place to actually stop the video, I guess, right? I mean, there's like, yeah, not much of a details you can see right now. So yeah, listen guys, you know, it's nice to see these extra options, but like I still think that like there's hardly any difference, so I would stick to 60 frames per second in performance. I mean, you can still switch to visual mode and see how that goes throughout the game. This is just one location where we are getting like pretty much stable 60 frames per second, but I'm sure that there's some more demanding locations in this game where you may have more frame drops, so then you can actually switch to performance modes. So yeah, so anyway guys, that's the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about it, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.